Hello students, so this is lecture number 6 of the chapter Center of Mass, probably the last lecture of this chapter, right? See, already we had discussed about how to calculate the center of mass. What is center of mass? We had calculated the center of mass of a semicircular ring, right? Okay. We had calculated the center of mass for a continuous mass distribution. That means when mass is being continuously distributed inside the body and we are said to calculate the center of mass, then definitely we had used these formulas. xcm equals to integration x dm upon dm, similarly ycm and zcm. Okay, so we had discussed all these things and of course we had solved the questions based on those formulas. Okay, now in this particular lecture we are going to discuss a question that what happens if some mass is being removed, some mass is taken out. Suppose there is a sphere or there is a disc, and from this disc or from this sphere a small sphere is cut or a small disc is being cut, then how center of mass will change? What will be the new position of center of mass, right? So this is the only type of question which is remaining in this chapter. So we'll today discuss those questions and then we'll discuss about rotational motion, right? From the next video we'll start with rotational motion, where we'll first discuss the basics of rotational motion, right? Okay, see, we can start with, let us say there is a disc, thin disc. There is a disc of mass m and say radius r. There is a thin disc, extremely thin disc, a thin disc of mass m and radius r. Let sigma be the uniform mass density. Already we had seen this, right? Lambda is mass per unit length. These are all constants. Mass by length, mass by area, rho mass by volume. Right? Generally for two-dimension objects we can use this formula. So in the question it is given that it is a thin disk. That means we can consider only the area, or we can say we'll consider disk to be of two dimension. Sigma mass by area, rho mass by volume. Now, let us say a small disk of a radius r by 2. A small disk of radius r by 2 is cut. Okay, if the radius is of, this will be like this. This way, right? Okay, so there is a small disk whose radius is r by 2, is being cut and taken outside. So what will be the position of center of mass of the remaining disk? Of course, see, this was a uniform disk, right? So center of mass will be the geometric center. Now you are removing some part, you are removing some mass from this side, right? So of course center of mass will shift towards heavier side. Center of mass will shift towards heavier side. This is what we had already discussed. So center of mass, the coordinate of position of center of mass will be towards left side. So we have to find the coordinate of center of mass when a small disk is being removed. So you have to find the position of center of mass of remaining part of the disk. Remaining part of the disk, that means when a small disk is being removed, then the remaining part, for this remaining part you have to calculate the position of center of mass. Okay, see. I'll continue with the question. A small disk of radius r by 2 is cut and taken outside and taken away. find the position of center of mass of remaining part of the disk. Clear? Okay. So initially, that is RCM is 0, 0. Since it is in 2 dimension, we will write it with 2 coordinates. Okay. Now sigma, that is mass density, is mass per area, mass by area, mass per unit area. So that will be m by pi r square. Right? Okay. Now let m1 be the mass of this disk. Let us say m1 be the mass of small disk. Small disk which is taken out. Okay. So what will be the mass of this disk in terms of m? That means, okay, we'll solve it later. Let us say m1. Okay. So then m2 will be the mass of remaining part. You are getting the point? Capital M is the total mass of the disk. This is mass density, which is mass by area. Now m1 is the mass of the small disk which is being taken out. So then remaining mass will be, let us say remaining mass as m2, which will be equals to m minus m1. Okay. So now from the equation of position of center of mass, m1 r1 plus m2 r2 upon m1 plus m2. This was the equation. RCM is 0, 0. So your equation will be m1, see this is 0, 0. Because center of mass of the whole disk is lying at its geometric center, because disk is uniform. So final equation will be 0, 0 equals to m1 r1 plus m2 r2 upon m1 plus m2. Okay, m1 plus m2 is being multiplied over here, so it will be 0. So it is finally m1 r1 to minus m2 r2. Now we have to find m1, m2, r1 and r2. Okay. See, m is the mass for pi r square area. Okay. So what is the area of this small disk? Pi into r square by 4. Okay. So then for pi into r square by 4, m1 will be cross multiplied. m1 into pi r square equals to capital M into pi r square by 4. So m1 is m by 4, right? So the mass of small disk is 1/4 of the total mass of the disk. So then m2 will be, as we know, total mass is m1 plus m2. So m is equals to m by 4 plus m2. So m2 will be 3m by 4. Done? So we are now having m1 as capital M by 4, m2 as 3m by 4. Done? Okay. So substitute the values over here. Instead of m1, we'll write it as m by 4. r1. r1 means position of center of mass of this disk, which is at a distance r by 2. r1 is the position of center of mass of the small disk. So center of mass of the small disk is at a distance r by 2 from the origin. So instead of r1, I'll write it as r by 2 comma 0. m2 minus m2 r2, I don't know the coordinate r2. We have to calculate r2, right? r2 is the position of center of mass of the remaining part of the disk. Let it be x. So we have to find this x. M by 4 gets cancelled. So your answer is minus r by 6 comma 0 equals to x. So this means that center of mass has been shifted towards left side by distance r by 6. Clear? So this is how we will find the position of center of mass of remaining disk. Is it clear? So recall the whole sum. You have been said in the question that there is a disk of mass m and radius r, right? Okay, let sigma be the mass density. Now a small disk of radius r by 2 has been cut. So to find the position of center of mass of the remaining part. Okay. So since the disk is uniform, RCM will be 0, 0. That means RCM position of center of mass will be at the origin. Okay, now what is sigma? Mass by area, mass by pi r square. Fine. Let us say that the mass of this small disk is m1. So m1 is the mass of the small disk which is taken out. So the remaining mass will be m minus m1. So according to the formula, RCM is equals to m1 r1 plus m2 r2 upon m1 plus m2. Okay, so RCM is 0, 0, right? This is m1 r1 plus m2 r2 upon m1 plus m2. Multiply. So m1 plus m2 into 0, that will be 0. So it is finally m1 r1 equals to minus m2 r2. Now capital M is the mass for pi r square, right? We are not knowing the mass of this small disk. Let it be m1. So the area is pi r by 2 the whole square. So pi r square by 4 will have a mass m1. So m1 will be equals to m by 4. So m1 is m by 4. Total mass is m. So remaining m2 will be m minus m by 4. That will be 3m by 4. Okay. Substitute in this equation m1, instead of m1 I am writing as m by 4, and instead of r1 I am writing as r by 2 comma 0 equals to minus 3m by 4 x comma 0. X represents the shift in the position of center of mass. M by 4 gets cancelled, so it is minus r by 6 and there is equals to x. Clear? Clear? If they want to make any change, they can, instead of a disk, they will write it as a sphere of mass m and radius r. Let rho be the uniform mass density, and a small sphere of any radius r is being, since if it is sphere, they will be giving you in 3 dimension, x, y, z. Then you have to follow the same procedure. The only thing that is to be changed will be, instead of using 2 coordinates, we will now use 3 coordinates. Clear? Well, so this was the only type of the question which was remaining. So now from the next video, we'll start with the rotational motion. First we'll understand the rotational variables and the basics of rotational motion, types of motions, and then we'll go for different topics like torque, couple, angular momentum, moment of inertia. The chapter is very interesting and it is very easy. Okay, so from the next video, we'll start with the rotational motion.